One method to implement the balance modulation technique is known as a ring modulator. So this is the concept of ring modulator is based on the switching characteristic of diode. You know that when the diode, its switching characteristic is simply given as if V0 is the output, the input output characteristic, the switching characteristic, that means in forward by it acts as a switch, that is diode as a switch. That means when it is forward biased, it is in the on mode, and in reverse bias case, it is in the off mode. Let us call it, you will deal with an ideal diode. Let us draw the circuitry for the ring modulator. So this is the circuitry for diode based circuitry for ring modulator. In order to implement the balance modulation technique, it contains two isolation transformers. One is the T1 and T2. Now as we know, ST is given as empty times of cos 2 pi Fc into T. As you can see here, once empty will be 0, then ST will also be 0. Mathematically we can see that. So there are basically two modes of operation for a ring modulator. Let's start with the mode 1. For mode 1, let's say empty is equal to 0. This is the mode 1, and in mode 2 empty, we will take empty, non-zero value of empty, and let's say this is the circuitry for generating the carrier wave. So one thing to observe here is that when CT will be greater than 0, then what will happen? Then the polarity for CT will be plus minus. In that case, the polarity will be plus minus only. In that case, D1 and D2 will be forward biased. Let us write here D1, D2 will be forward biased, and the diodes D3, D4 will be reverse biased. So redrawing the circuit, you can represent T3 and D4 with an open circuit, and here empty we have taken. Similarly, D3, D4 will also be taken as open circuit, and D1 and D2 will be taken as a closed circuit. Since D1 and D2 is forward biased, then let's say current flows I into this circuit, then by virtue of symmetry, the current that will flow here is, let's call it as I plus, because we are considering the forward bias. We are considering the case of when the diodes are in the D1, D2 are in forward bias. Let's say this is I plus phi 2, and this will be again I plus phi 2. So in this case, since empty we are taking as 0, in this case the EMF that will be generated across the transformer will be equal and opposite. So the total voltage available at the output will be 0, because equal and opposite voltages are being generated at the terminals of the transformer T2. This is the case when CT is greater than 0. Now CT is a high frequency signal, high frequency radio signal. Let's represent CT here for more clarity. Now we have represented, although CT will be a sinusoid, but since we are dealing with the switching characteristic of the diode, then we are taking two cases, either CT is greater than 0 or less than 0. In that case, we can closely represent CT in terms of a square wave, such that when CT is greater than 0, then diode D1 and D2 will be forward biased, and when CT is less than 0, then diode D3 and D4 will be reverse biased. So when MT is 0, the ST will also be 0. So this was case 1. Let's move on to case 2. Case 2, when CT now taking the another case, we took the case for CT greater than 0. Now for CT less than 0. Once again redrawing the now when CT will be less than 0, then in that case what will happen? The polarity will be not, this will be plus, this end will be minus. So this is plus, this is minus, then this end will be plus, and this end will be minus. Here what will happen? When CT is less than 0, then the diode D1 and D2 will open or will go in the off state or reverse bias state, but D3 and D4 will come onto the on state, in the forward bias state. So we can redraw this signal, and once again MT is, we are taking the mode when MT is equal to 0. In that case, now D1 and D2 is open circuited, D3 and D4 will be short circuited, will act in the on mode. Then in that case, you can see now once again the current, this is the polarity. Then let's say the current flowing here is, now we are taking the case of when D1 and D2 are off. Let's say it is minus, the current generated is I minus, it is followed, then the current flow will be I by 2, and similarly in the opposite direction, let's say the current is I by 2. So what will the direction of the current flow will be from this diode to this node. Similarly here, this will be the direction up to CT, up to the voltage source. Once again, equal and opposite voltage will be generated, then ST will go 0. Then we can say in both the cases, when CT is greater than 0 or less than 0, we can say in mode 1, when empty is equal to 0, implies ST will also be 0. This is the mode 1. Let's move on to mode 2, when empty is non-zero. Moving on to mode 2. Empty not equal to 0. Redrawing the circuit. Now here empty is not equal to 0. First again take the case 1, when CT is greater than 0. Now when CT will be greater than 0, then what will happen? D1 and D2 will go on, and D3, D4 will go off. So redrawing the circuit. This is the case, D3 and D4 will act as open circuit, and when CT is greater than 0, then the polarity that will develop will be plus and minus. In that case, D1 and D2 are forward biased. Then suppose the polarity of empty is plus minus, then the same polarity will be observed here, and same polarity will be developed across the primary of the transformer T2, and similarly across the secondary, the value of ST will be simply empty. So we can say when CT greater than 0, ST is equal to empty. Let us take case 2. When Ct less than 0 or the negative values of Ct. In that case, D1 and D2 will go off and D3 and D4 will be in the on state. Now, here D1 and D2 will go into the on state. Let me draw a bit fresh circuit. Now in this case, one thing to observe here, now the polarity of Ct is plus minus. Then here it is plus polarity, here it is minus polarity. Now let's say empty has a polarity, or the primary of the polarity of the primary of the transformer T1 is given by plus minus. Same empty will be in the secondary, the polarity will be the same. But one thing to observe here is that the polarity for the primary of T2, the positive node of T2 is shorted with the negative of the secondary of T2. Likewise, the negative terminal of T2 is shorted with the positive terminal of the secondary of T1. That means we can say here that the ST that will be observed here will be minus of empty. So finally, we can arrive or we can write mathematically is that for mode 1, when empty is equal to 0, then ST will be 0. For any value of Ct, either it is positive or negative. In mode 2, when empty is not 0, this implies ST will have a value plus empty when Ct greater than 0, and it will have value minus empty when Ct has a value less than 0. Very important. So graphically we can observe this. Suppose this is our message signal T, and let's say this is the carrier wave, high frequency or radio frequency carrier wave. Let me draw a rough plot, taking it as a square wave. Once again, we select this part, and draw this once again. Now ST is given by AC into MT times of cos 2 pi FC T. Now this is our message signal, and both MT and CT are being multiplied, that is ST is MT times of multiplied by CT. Then let's say this is the envelope of the message signal. Let's say this is our message signal, and let's say this is the envelope of the message signal. Then we know what we have observed is that if CT is greater than 0, then we will get the plus MT, and when CT less than 0, it will be minus MT. So as we see, this portion is this portion is minus MT, and this is plus MT. So for CT, let's take another color. For CT greater than 0, when CT is greater than 0, what we observe, we have to take plus MT value, and for CT less than 0, we have to take the minus MT value. See, so for CT greater than 0, so for CT greater than 0, For CT greater than 0, this will be plus empty. For CT less than 0, the output will be minus empty. Once again CT plus the CT when greater than 0, we have to take plus empty. Similarly, minus empty, plus empty, minus empty. Similarly, plus empty and then minus empty, plus empty, then minus empty, plus empty, minus empty, and so on. So finally we can plot this. Let me draw a rough plot. So it will be let me again draw. It will be something like that. And if this is the envelope, then you can enclose this envelope with the carrier frequency. And so on. So this is the required the DSPSC signal. Now one thing to observe here is that here phase reversal is occurring. So since there is phase reversal, we cannot apply the method of envelope detection as we had discussed earlier. So this is the final or a rough draw of the DSPSC signal, and this is how we generate the DSPSC signal using the balanced modulator technique.